Welcome to Southaven Business Beat. Business and community leaders talk with us to provide invaluable resources to aid the business community.
This podcast is sponsored by Secure Trust Federal Credit Union. Our goal is to provide prompt, courteous, and friendly service to each member or prospective member to ensure that every person is guided toward financial independence by setting up a workable savings program. We have been consistently awarded the Bauer Financial Report's highest rating for the past several years. Secure Trust Federal Credit Union has 2 locations to serve you, the main branch located in Southaven and our other branch located in Senatobia. Visit www.securetrust.org for more information.
And now here's your host, Robbie Yates.
Hey, thank you for tuning in, listening in, and actually watching another episode of Southaven Business Beats. Today we have Shaun Pillai, an incredible individual with Vivid Insurance. So, Shaun, appreciate your time and thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to be here.
Yeah. So, Vivid Insurance. Obviously, when people hear insurance are probably thinking P&C, renters, health. Like, what's the go-to? What's the benefit that you bring to the table?
Yeah, absolutely. So, focusing on life and health for the most part. So, health is what I'm really focusing in on. So mostly for business owners, because obviously if you have 50 employees or less, it's really hard to get a group plan, get those benefits for your employees and stuff like that. So I want to come in and make sure that those gaps are filled for those employees that maybe their spouse, doesn't have insurance, or they're a single mom, single dad, and that business doesn't offer benefits, right?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that they're covered, whether it's through individual plans or talking to the business owner and seeing what kind of plan we can put together that isn't a huge cost to the employer itself, and then the employee too, of course.
Okay. So like for members for the Chamber of Commerce, you really kind of want to be able to tap into them for somebody that has their business or they're starting out or their spouse doesn't have it.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. So we've got that, and then we've got another, it's a pre-tax plan as well. So it's Champion Health, actually. So main points of that plan is that the employer actually gets a FICA tax deduction for their employees, and same for the employer as well. And so they're saving money on taxes on their paychecks, and then they're also getting a bunch of benefits for free, actually. So can kind of dive into that.
Is it really free?
It's yes.
You know, I gotta ask.
The way I know, right? It's like this sounds too good to be true. So, so the way that we have structured the plan, the benefits are free for the employee. So a lot of cool benefits in there. One of them that I really love is there's a mental health aspect in it. So you can actually get with a therapist as many times as you want to throughout the year. Could do that. And another random one that is in there, there's actually pet insurance in there too. Okay. So you can actually call a vet and say, hey, do I need to take my dog or cat to the vet? And then they can be like, hey, this is wrong with them, or they need to go in and see an
it's telehealth on the vet side?
Correct, yes, it's telehealth for the pet. Yep.
Okay. So I could see a lot of people benefit from that because you don't know what's going on with your dog or cat. They go outside to get injured for whatever reason.
That's right.
And so you don't have to take them; they can just call in.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So amongst that, there's urgent care, there's prescriptions. A lot of it is for employee plus the family, but there is some that are just for the employee. But again, once we go over that plan and kind of talk to the business owner and say, hey, this is what we have for you, and then kind of go into it, and then we make sure everybody's enrolled properly and knows like what all the plan has. So
on the mental health side, you mentioned about how's that look too? Is that telehealth also, or do they have to find somebody, take the time out of their day to go there?
No. So it's all telehealth. We are trying to work on where they can go to an in-person therapist and do that. But for right now, it is telehealth. So they can do it from the comfort of their home and do that. And it's not just, and that part, thankfully, is not just for the employee, it's for the employee plus their family. So if their spouse, their kids want to partake in that as well, they can do that too.
Oh, wow, their kids also? Man, I could see that being huge, especially if they have like teenagers and they're going through so much right now.
Through high school, middle school, all that kind of stuff with everything that's going on at schools, they need somebody to talk to. Like, obviously, we want them as parents to talk to us. But,
absolutely,
we're not licensed to do that, right? Or we don't have the tools necessary. So, it's a really cool aspect.
Yeah, man, that's amazing because they might even want to talk to their counselor at school because of fear of somebody seeing them going into the office.
That's right.
And they're like, why are you in the counselor's office? That way, in the privacy of their own home, they can just talk to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Wow.
kind of just to recap that, so employers would save about $600 a year per employee. It has to be full-time. And then the employees themselves would actually gain about $1,500 per year on their paycheck on average, as well as all of the benefits listed on the Champ plan.
Okay, say that again. They get $1,500.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
that was
they pretty much
yeah.
So they pretty much get a raise in their pay because of it being a pre-tax deduction. So because we take it out pre-tax, all of your FICA taxes, all of your Social Security, all of that is lowered because of it, and then they get an actual pay bump every month.
Okay.
Yep.
And those are people that are, if they're members with this Chamber of Commerce,
That's
to be able to take advantage of that.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So if I'm a business owner, I have 5 employees that's working with me, full-time employees.
Yep.
Full-time's the key, but they can take advantage of the telehealth aspect for the veterinarians, and then for mental health. Maybe there's something else in there too.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's urgent care. So if you've got to go to urgent care, usually you're paying a copay.
Yep.
This is, again, a $0 copay for urgent care. For most prescriptions, so like antibiotics and stuff like that, not your high prescriptions or your specific medicine prescriptions, and different things like that. So a lot of cool benefits that are in there. And that's why I would love to reach out and talk with anybody and just really dig into the plan. And go through kind of that presentation and say, hey, this is how it works. Here are the numbers. Here are the benefits, and go through there.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. I do want to learn more about this, but real quick, we're going to take a quick pause. We're going to hear a word from our sponsor, and we'll come right back.
Follow App. The Follow App is the long-term solution for networking, instantly connecting you to those frequently missed opportunities to find the right referral partner or new client to grow your business. Wisdom Integrators. Are you a business owner and is technology getting in the way of your business? If your computers are slow, your website is horrible, or your business needs more efficiency, then it's time to reach out to Aaron Kozort and Wisdom Integrators. Would you like to be a sponsor? Contact Debbie King at 662-342-6114 for more information. Be sure to share and subscribe for more business resources. Now back to Southaven Business Beat and host Robbie Yates.
Hi, thanks again. Thank you for turning back in, listening into really this incredible health plan that Shaun is talking about with Champ Plan. And you mentioned earlier, and I thought was really interesting, and I'm still kind of floored by this, how I know we talked about, what just use the number I was talking about before with 5 employees. So full-time employees, they have a chance of increasing their pay of $1,500 for the year.
On average, yeah.
Roughly, on average. On average. Okay, so that's phenomenal. So if I'm working for somebody full-time, I'm involved in this, urgent cares for free, no copay, mental health, which I love for the family as well. And then for the pets as well, if you have pets. But on top of that, the cherry on top for me is the fact that, wait a minute, I get an increase in pay for $1,500 for the year.
Right.
Yeah.
So when, kind of like you said earlier, is like, this sounds too good to be true. Like anytime I kind of put this out, it's just like, how are we doing this? So again, really just sitting down with that business owner and saying, hey, this is what the numbers look like. This is how we enroll people. And that's a really cool thing about Champ too, is that you would think, with the whole payroll aspect, like you're going to have to do that. Absolutely not. So Champion Health actually takes all of that burden off of you. There's an initial, you have to give us all your employee information and all that kind of stuff. And then we work with you to make sure that that's done every 2 weeks, month, whatever your pay looks like. So Champ does all of the heavy lifting, if you will.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, it'd be a nightmare for some people because they're thinking they have got so much going on. They don't have time to take and do all this. And they think there's going to be a ton of extra work they're going to do. But y'all come in and do that for them?
That's right. So, and a lot of, business owners that have maybe 5, 10, 15 employees don't really have a payroll company that does anything for them either, right? They're doing it all by themselves. I used to do that. It's a pain in the butt. So what's cool about Champ as well is that we can get, we have partnerships with payroll companies that you essentially would get a payroll plan for free. And so what's cool about it is, now you're not only just giving these benefits to your employees, now you're taking burden off of your time as well. So you're able to do more for your business by not having to do payroll. So,
That's incredible. What about, you mentioned earlier about urgent care What about prescriptions? How does that look as well if I'm going to be, take part of this?
Sure. So again, that's a great one. That's employee plus family. So again, some of them are just employee only, but so yeah, say your kid's sick and they need antibiotics or eardrops or whatever. Those are those kind of low tier prescriptions that Champion covers for free. Obviously we're not covering like cancer, drugs and stuff like that. Like those are those higher tier prescriptions.
Yep.
But yeah, if you need that type of stuff, it's covered as well. So,
yeah, man, that's incredible.
Yeah, and I do want to say that this is not a major medical plan, right?
Okay.
So if you're needing like surgery and you need to go to like the doctor, like the copay and stuff like that is covered. But if you're needing like blood tests and all of that kind of stuff, those would fall onto your major medical plan, like your Blue Cross, your Cigna, and different things like that.
But if they don't have major medical. And I know you work with Champ and you help them out, but do you have anything yourself that you with Vivid Insurance you can offer that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are plans that we have for individuals that we can kind of work through and see what we can get for pretty low cost, if anything.
Yeah.
And be able to just kind of say, hey, we're going to meld these two plans together, and you have this for your major medical, your like big ticket stuff, and then your Champ plan so that you can have your $0 copay for urgent care, prescriptions, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I like how you can marry the two together. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, we really just want to fill in gaps for health insurance because there's so much that falls in the cracks, and there's so much sometimes it's frustrating because it's just like, why can't we just have one thing and it's done? But no, like you've got to do all these different kinds of things, and that's cool too. Is regardless of pre-existing conditions, like we can get something for you. Yeah. So that's a cool part of it as well.
Oh, so pre-existing, you can still be able to find something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So even personal moment, like I have Crohn's, and so I was even able to find myself a plan that wasn't like astronomically expensive. Okay. Because Crohn's can be a pretty expensive thing to have. So so with everything kind of melded together, like it's not as crazy of a payment as it could be. Yeah. So I, just navigating all of that, I can do. I have a personal moment with that where it's just like, hey, I get it if you've got diabetes. I get it if you get this, this, and this. I'm going to make sure and do my job and make sure that you're taken care of. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, man, I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate that because you're not just looking into it like, here's a plan, let's just get it. But you're actually sitting down, taking that time to realize.
There's no cookie cutter stuff.
Yeah, this isn't it.
Like,
let's go
every person is different. Every person has different stuff. So, like even with the supplemental stuff that I have, like if your family has a history of cancer, like there's cancer plans, like my mom and multiple people in my family have had cancer, like I'm going to make sure I have a plan for that because who knows when that's going to happen. Yeah. Right? I have a higher chance of that happening for me. So I just want to really get to the nitty gritty and say, hey, what is your health history? What is all of this? Let's tailor something that's towards you and not just kind of throw a blanket out there and say, hey, you're covered with health insurance. Like, maybe you are, maybe you're not. So
you find out when you go and like, I have my copay is what? I owe this? What?
Exactly.
Yeah. Man, I respect that, but also like the fact that you're on that Champ plan. That's just something that I feel like business owners, why not sit down and have a conversation with you to find out? Right. And again, they have to be a chamber member to be able to take advantage of that because that's an incredible opportunity for them.
That's right.
Is there anything other than what they can do for their employees, but real quick, is there anything on the back end that the business owner themselves will be able to recoup or any benefit for them?
Sure. So, they're having to pay FICA taxes for their employees as well, right? So they actually are getting money back per employee. So on average, you're getting about $550, $600 a year per employee. So you start to add that up, the more employees, the more money you're getting back for your bottom line. So you can either put that back into marketing, put that back into whatever that looks like. You have the ability to do that. So. And larger companies can hire more employees, whatever. Yeah. It's kind of endless in what you can do.
I like the fact that like the hiring portion of it because a lot of people now, I hear it a lot, especially within the chamber. They're talking about, man, when to hire somebody, trying to find somebody. Yep. So if they have this opportunity to bring somebody in.
That's right.
And also the increasing the bottom line too. It sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. They can kind of put the money wherever they want to. So it's just right back to you on your bottom line.
Yeah. Man, that's incredible. Well, Shaun, man, thank you so much for your time. It's incredible. So if you're a chamber member, you want to learn more, please tap in. We'll have Shaun's information on there and just learn more about this opportunity. Why not have a conversation? It can't hurt.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hey, man, appreciate it.
Yep.
Please visit www.southavenbusinessbeat.com for more episodes. We would like to thank the following sponsor, Pure Focus Media. Have an event coming up? Let us capture all the moments that will create memories that will last a lifetime with our professional photographer and videographer. Also announcing our new digital selfie photo booth. Book with us today. This podcast is brought to you by the Southaven Chamber of Commerce. We know relationships create commerce. Want to join the Southaven Chamber? Visit www.southavenchamber.com. Be sure to share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.